research class. Today I'm in the Wyre Forest because lots of different animals live here. I'm going to show you some pictures. Some of them might be on a snowy day like today, but some might be sunny and some might even be rainy. I'm going to look at the different animals who live in the forest. Let's go. Some of the animals that you might spot in the forest on your walks are actually pets. Baxter loves a walk in the forest and sometimes he likes to run too. You might see people riding horses in the forest. They don't live in the forest, but they get to come in for a walk just like me and you. You look at these patterns in the snow. These are deer's footprints. I wonder if I will spot any deer on my walk today. Lots of deer live in the Wyre Forest. There are different types of deer. The male deer, or the boys, have big antlers on their head, but the girls, the females, don't have antlers. They eat different plants and they don't eat meat. Sometimes you might find a big group of them all together, but other times you might see one deer on their own. In the forest, there are some animals that come out in the day and some animals that like to come out at night. They are nocturnal. Let's have a look at some of those animals. Sometimes in the forest you might see a fox. Foxes are meat eaters. They are carnivores. Another animal you might spot is a hedgehog with all his prickly spines. You might never get to see one of these animals. They always stay underground. It's called a mole, and they dig lots of holes, called a molehill, in the grass where they're digging. This is a badger. He lives in a set under the ground. Badgers like to dig to eat worms. You might even hear an owl, birds that only come out at the night time. Another thing that flies at night in the forest is bats. This is the brook. It's a body of water that runs through the forest. Because it's water, there are some different animals that you might find in here. I'm going to show you some of them now. There are lots of frogs in the forest, especially near water. When you're by the water, you might see lots of different birds that like to live on the water, like ducks and geese. This is a different bird. I wonder if you've seen one of these before. It's called a heron. Herons are really big and they do amazing fishing in the water. This is another big bird. It's called a bird of prey. This one is a buzzard. The buzzard can eat things like mice that it finds in the forest. You might see some small birds. This bird's called a robin. Can you see its red chest? I think it's having a bath in the puddle. Another type of animal you might see is called an adder. It's a type of snake. We get it in this country, in the forest. You have to be careful because they can be dangerous. You might see an animal that looks similar to the snake. It's called a slow worm. It's like a really big worm. Sometimes when you're in the forest, in the spring and the summer, you might spot beautiful butterflies or dragonflies. I hope you've enjoyed seeing all the different animals that I found in the forest.
I wonder if you can have a look next time you go for a walk and you spot any of these animals too. Maybe you can spot something that Emily didn't find. I'll see you soon, Birch Class. Bye bye.